I never thought I would be in a place like this, like just where I grew up. It's like nothing that anyone in my family, no one that I knew who lived around me had ever done. Walking by these buildings that are from medieval times, and Lord, no one imagined that someone like me would like ever be here. Yeah, I like being in places that no one thought I would ever be. I quite enjoy it.
How would my time been different in Oxford? I wouldn't have been here. Easy. I probably wouldn't have gone to grad school if I wouldn't have gotten the Rhodes.
I would never have imagined this. And I think if my previous self had set to some goalposts coming into Oxford, I think they definitely have shifted. Definitely.
My name is Clay. I'm reading for a Master's in Neuroscience.
We arrived in the morning here at Oxford, and it was a very surreal experience for me because this is actually my first time across the Atlantic Ocean.
But yeah, you know, nothing like packing people on an airplane for 6 hours to get to know one another.
I keep forgetting what day it is all the time.
I was a bit apprehensive about going into a lab with a whole bunch of accomplished scientists.
And everybody keeps telling me like, oh, the point of the Rhodes Scholarship is to, you know, be in Oxford with the other scholars. So I think I'll be in the lab during quite a bit of that. I came here to study neuro, so I suppose I should probably do that. So I will see you later then?
The UK weather has been taking some time to adjust to. You know, being the rookie, I realized in the UK it's more wet Christmas than it is white. But we live and we learn.
It was just such a shock moving here. I live across a major street, and I couldn't figure out which way the cars were going, and I was just convinced that I was gonna get hit by a car, and I just started sobbing in the middle of the street. So I would tell myself not to sob in the middle of the street because you scare bystanders and no one wants to be your friend.
6 months ago, I probably would have told myself, make sure you're confident in your own knowledge and make sure that you have a question in mind. You know, I studied this stuff for a long time, and I think that confidence maybe should have been there.
My research focuses on the relationship between homicide rates and social capital. I'm really looking at isolation, like what kind of isolation most affects violence.
There's no direct guarantee that all this work will actually have direct impact and that I'll be able to see it through. Perhaps maybe, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road, all of these molecular pathways that I'm trying to dissect might eventually come to light.
It's hard to say what is going to happen to the neuroscience research. Now that I'm on the new program, I have less time to commit to it, but a lot of very serious thought gets put into who you select as the handful of people that get to go hang out and think really hard. What I think about is, will I justify that investment?
My research has propelled at a much faster rate than I ever anticipated. We could try and slow down the progression or even reduce tumor burden in patients who have this particular flavor of colon cancer.
The quirks I've adapted to here, I drink tea. I don't like hot drinks, but it's like pretty unacceptable here not to drink anything hot.
Adapting to some of the terminology.
They're just so a part of me that I can't point at them. It's like it'll come out of my mouth and like, wait, who said that? Where'd the Brit come from?
While it seems so abnormal to an outsider, you just come to get used to it and not even bat an eye.
Came at a time where I think like I was just like becoming an adult, figuring out what it's like to live in a place that doesn't feel like home for 2 years, and like not to underestimate that part. I have built a community that not always feeling at home here. It made me feel really loved, and that was really nice.
this time doesn't last forever and you have to savor it while you're here. So I think I'll stay in school a bit longer.
Graduating, you look to your classmates, you look to your family, and they know what they sacrificed, what you sacrificed, what it's taken to get there. And you're literally reminiscing, because as you walk out, it's like white, ominous light, and you're like, you're going out into the world. And it really didn't feel like that, because literally, it's like, you've done all you could do in this environment, you've learned all that you've learned, you've achieved this, now go out and have your impact. And that's very surreal.
Yeah, of course it changed the course of my life. Of course. I can say that with utter and complete confidence.